The asset management activity is where you will set up different products that you rent out. The first step is to set up asset types. An asset type can be thought of as a category of different rental products. For example, an asset type would be skis. Each asset would be a particular pair of skis. Let's start off by adding an asset type. You will click on Select option, Add Asset Type, type in the asset type name. Next, you will click Add New Option Group. These groups are similar to a subcategory. This may be a brand, size, or any other type of classification. Below the option group are the different options that are available. An example of this might be each brand or size. You can have several different option groups per asset type. When you are finished, click on Save. Once you are finished setting up your asset types, it is time to set up your assets. You will need one asset set up for each item you wish to rent out. For example, if you have 10 pairs of skis, you will need to set up 10 assets. To do this, you will click on the Assets tab at the top. In the Select option drop-down, you will select Add Asset. You will fill out the required fields in the form. Each asset must have a unique barcode assigned to it. This barcode will help for quick returns of the rental item. When you select the asset type, it will show you the group options group that you created for that asset type. You will select the applicable options and click Save. Once you repeat the asset setup steps for all assets, you are finished. The rental management activity is where you will set up your rental packages and rental kiosks. First, in the drop-down, you will select Add Package. A rental package can be a combination of several different rental assets or a single asset. On the Package tab, you will fill out the required fields marked with the asterisks. The rental duration options determine the maximum amount of time that a customer can rent out the package for. After you are finished in the screen, you will move to the asset types. Here you will select the type of assets a customer will receive when they purchase this rental package. An example could be skis, boots, and helmet. Lastly, you will select the sales tax you want to charge when renting out this item and assign it to the location. When finished, make sure to hit Save. On the Categories tab, you can set up different categories of rental packages that you plan on offering. Set up a rental kiosk, which is very similar to a register. In the drop-down, you will select Add Rental Kiosk. You will fill out the kiosk name, assign it a workflow, and a location. If you don't have a workflow set up yet, don't worry. We will go over that in just a minute. You will then add all the categories you want to be available on this kiosk. Once you are done with the categories, you will then add all the packages you want to add to this kiosk. Once again, be sure to hit the Save when you are finished. To see what your rental kiosk looks like, you will highlight the kiosk in the grid, and in the drop-down you will select Launch Kiosk. Once the kiosk is launched, you can copy the URL from the browser and set up your rental stations to access this URL. If you need to set up rental workflow, you will first go to the Workflow module. A workflow determines the layout and setup of the rental kiosk. In the first drop-down, you will select Rentals. You will start by uploading the rental kiosk logo. You will then select the accent color you want to add to the kiosk. Then you will set the confirmation page interval. This is the amount that will show before it goes back to the home page for the next customer. In the next field, you can require a deposit on the rental kiosk in either a dollar amount or a percentage. Next, you can add custom order form fields that must be filled out when placing an order. You can then choose whether to require a waiver on the kiosk or not. You can also assign late fees on asset returns. The last two fields allow you to assign which receipt templates are printed or sent when using the rental kiosk. In the Rental Orders module, you can look up rental orders, create new rental orders, look up the status of certain assets, and return assets. To add a new order, you will click on the green Add Order button. You will fill out the form and click Save. You can then continue adding all guests on this account. After you are done adding guests to the rental order, you will select the packages. After selecting a package, you will assign that rental package to a guest and select the rental duration and click Add. After you have chosen all the packages, you can assign assets to the order. Next to each asset included in the packages you selected, you will see a barcode field. In there, you will scan the barcode on each asset you will be handing the customer. This step is optional. You will then click on the checkout screen and pay the balance. You can view the previous payments and make returns on the payment screen. On the Returns tab, you can return the assets that were rented. Lastly, on the Waiver tab, you can see if the customer has a valid waiver signed. Note, this waiver must be assigned to the workflow for this to work. You can also view previous rental orders and make any changes that are needed by clicking on the View button next to any rental order. Under the Lookup Assets tab, you can view the status of any single asset. It will show as available, rented, or late. You can search by the asset name, barcode, or asset type. The Quick Return tab allows you to quickly and easily return assets. You will put the cursor in the barcode search field, scan the asset barcode, and click Return Asset. You can also select the Auto Return Asset with Search Box to return the asset automatically when you perform the search. For information about other Iluvi modules, visit our Help Center to find more training materials.